And it's all about miracles or us. And amazingly, that song ties right in with my message. It's all the same stuff. From a very young age, I had always felt that there had to be more to life than what I could see or feel. Most of my life, all the same stuff. Most of my life I felt separate from or not part of anything. I suspect most people have felt this at some time or other too. Were you the black sheep of your family? I was. Do you or did you often feel or sometimes feel invisible? I did. Have you ever asked yourself, really, what's it all about? What am I here for? Yeah, I have. So today I'm going to try to inspire you to find your own way of intentionally experiencing oneness, all the same stuff. But maybe it's not an easy thing to do. My perception of being separate from anything outside of myself has been reaffirmed most of my life. And after contemplating the teaching of science of mind for the last 7 years, I have been constantly trying to embody the feeling of oneness. One of the first times I was able to experience just a little bit the feeling of being one with the universe was when I was in a car between Savanaw and Cache Creek. I love that scenery. I said to my husband, look at that scene. Isn't God wonderful? And then I got to thinking, although I said that's a wonderful saying, it's a separation saying. So I caught myself and chose to use the language that expresses that God and I are the same thing, and so is creation. So I rephrased it. Look at all that beauty. Aren't we wonderful? And suddenly, with those inclusive words, I began to feel it. I began to understand that creation outside the car window and creation inside the car window, Tom and I, are all one creation. Period. We are all one creation. We're all the same stuff. I thought of something I had heard about the bird's eye view. It describes how things look down here from up there. If an eagle looked down upon us, it would see creation. Nothing would be individual. The road, the sagebrush, the hills, the moving car, and the people in it would all be in the eye of the eagle. One. So I wonder if this eagle would feel separate from or part of this creation he was experiencing. I suspect that he probably has no sense of otherness. I suspect he has only the sense of oneness. When I made that statement to Tom, aren't we wonderful? Something happened with my perception. I began to feel a part of that moving scenery. It was as if someone had placed me in a moving picture. I became that moving picture. It is an amazing feeling. Everything was moving and so was I. So what has this to do with experiencing a miracle from my point of view? Well, I have many ideas on miracles. This is just one. The keyword to this belief of mine is we. My miracle in the car that day was my amazing feeling of being part of it all. It wasn't the car in me. It wasn't the scenery in me. It wasn't anything to do with the two words "and me." The amazing thing is that I felt it so strongly in my entire being. For the first time in my life, I felt a part of. I felt open and important and essential. So I encourage you to intentionally try to become conscious of your oneness with all that you can see. Try to become intentional with all of your oneness with all that you can see. The key words I use to activate my feeling of oneness are, aren't we wonderful? When I speak those words, no matter where I am, in a car, standing up here, the scene generates in me a sense of true self, being pure spirit, pure energy, and divine. That's the miracle. That's the miracle of our us. Aren't we wonderful? When I started coming to this center 7 years ago, I loved and mostly understood what I thought was an incredible theory. But until I experienced the miracle of oneness, I believed all that Ernest Holmes taught was incredible, but just a theory. Now I realize that my thinking needs to be one with my spiritual feelings. I can know and embody the truth with a capital T. And that truth with a capital T is my spiritual self. The so-called theory of oneness to me is no longer a theory. I have no sense of otherness. I am one. Miracles are us. Aren't we wonderful? Aren't we wonderful? I'd like to call up almost Reverend Ken, please.